Namaste and greetings, Rasikas. South Indian Fine Arts Academy, SAIFA, is very thrilled to present high caliber local artists in the upcoming spring concerts. I have with me Smitha Prasad, who has been enthralling the Triangle Rasikas through her music instruction, and several more multifaceted talents. Welcome to this segment, Smitha.
Thank you so much, Minnie, for having me.
Could you please give us a glimpse of what your upbringing was and how you got initiated to Carnatic music?
So, for most my a big part of my musical training, I've been one of those people that's been very fortunate to have had a lot of initial instruction from my mother,
Mm.
who ran a very large music class. So, my earliest memories, before I can even think about talking or anything, is just being on her lap in her music class, surrounded by whether it's adults, whether it's children, all of whom were learning music. So those are some of my very early memories. And then subsequently, I've had the very good fortune of being trained by multiple artists, very renowned artists in India, whether it's Bangalore, other parts of India, including my current guru, Vidushi Vasanta Madhavi, who is a wonderful, very prolific musicologist based out of Bangalore. And I'm blessed to be continuing this instructions with her. She is more than a mentor to me because our relationship goes far beyond one of just teacher and student, but also just encompassing all facets of life. So I'm indeed truly blessed to have that relationship.
That's excellent. Could you share if South Indian upbringing has had any influence in your Carnatic music training as a student and as a performer?
So, interestingly, I have actually been brought up outside of India for
Okay.
most of my life.
All right.
So, my parents were in the Middle East, and of course, I was brought up in the Middle East for most of my life. Um, so, the concept of South Indian culture is actually one that was subconsciously
Mm.
always had been a part of my life without my parents necessarily having to thrust it or force it on us.
So you just immersed it.
So you're just immersed, absolutely. You're just immersed in it without even thinking. So
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the different festivals that are
Mm.
coming up, whether it is the different aradhanes that are coming up, Tyagaraja Aradhane, Purandaradasara Aradhane, it has always been a ubiquitous part of our life without necessarily it being a very conscious decision.
Okay.
So, South Indian culture, the richness, the fabric of it, and it's not even just music. It's dance.
Mm-hmm.
It's harikate. It is
Oh, yeah.
folk dance, folk music.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much to learn from all of these aspects, which all come under this umbrella of South Indian traditional
Absolutely,
arts.
absolutely. And we burst into song for any given occasion. Yeah.
Absolutely. What better way to share your joy and to share, your knowledge with others? It's at the end of the day, it's all a journey that we are all
Yeah.
on. We're here for a short time on this earth. We should all make the best of it. So we all, are part of this journey together.
Excellent. Smita, how do you feel Carnatic music contributes to cultural diversity and enrichment?
What a wonderful question, Minnie. So here's my personal thoughts about this. So, as a part of the U.S. fabric, the U.S. is wonderful. North Carolina, in particular, the fact that we have these wonderful grants from the
Mm.
NC Arts Council, the community and the arts community in particular has been extremely open and embracing of the various thoughts that different people bring in, whether it's through music, whether it's through food, whether it's through art. What does this diversity of music really mean? Because it brings in, at the end of the day, a diversity in thought.
Mm.
It brings in this acceptance of there isn't a single perspective that is a that is accepted by everybody, but that we all should be open to different perspectives. Different people look at the same thing with different perspectives, and really it is that concept that people around you will look at the same thing and have different perspectives on it, is really what I feel our music is another way of promoting this diversity in thought.
Very good. They talk about the US as a potpourri of culture, but I
Yes.
would think of us as a thali meal, where we have a little bit of everything that brings nourishment to our life. Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. I think that's very well said. And as I said, it's just it's so wonderful to be part of this entire community, which is so very very welcoming
Mm-hmm.
of these differences. And they always talk about finding similarity in our
Mm-hmm.
differences, but it is also retaining the uniqueness,
Oh,
allowing
yeah.
us to retain the uniqueness while still finding
Right.
ways of coming
Yeah,
together. I think that's such a
absolutely.
wonderful balance that we
Mm-hmm.
have found here.
Thank you. Smita, I learned that your daytime job is in the field of technology. So, how do you feel technology influences the promotion of Carnatic music to a wider, accessible audience?
Um, Absolutely interesting question. Yes, my daytime job is indeed, we are all part of the technological
Mm-hmm.
fabric now. There's no getting away from it. In terms of technology, so I have, it's a double edged sword.
Mm.
So, one thing is, I think, in terms of accessibility, technology has done a wonderful job of sort of making sure that the music is accessible across the globe. We
Mm.
no longer are constrained by geographic boundaries. But indeed, anybody that has an interest in Carnatic music can just really Google it. You're
Mm.
able to find, examples of Carnatic music. If you want to find a teacher who is in the local area, you can find a
Mm-hmm.
teacher. So I think in terms of that, it has really given, really taken promotion of Carnatic music to a wonderful new level.
Mm.
Now, of course, like anything, technology is a double edged sword.
Mm.
So, one of the things where I feel, technology may not be sort of is not the best use of it is sort of when it has come down to, whether it is the experience, the
Mm-hmm.
concert experience has now sort of gotten reduced to, 30-second bites.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
people make a decision on whether to listen to somebody, not to listen to somebody based on a 30-second clip. Now, yes, one could argue that 30 seconds is more than enough to make a decision one way or the other. However, there is something to be said about the concert
Mm.
experience. And I think that is where, technology is a double edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are parts of it that are excellent, there's wonderful benefits of it. But then there is also the flip side of it, which is we are, reduced to sort of this 30-second
Mm-hmm.
culture. We have to now, of course, innovate and make sure that as artists, one thing is we can turn around and say, no, we don't want to be part of this culture. But then the thing is, music and artists, we have to constantly innovate.
Mm.
If we don't innovate, if we are not part of this whole process, um, it's you tend to get left behind.
Right.
So I think the key is finding a balance, which is within this construct. How do you still find a way to get across the essence of
Right.
your music?
Mm.
And that is a challenge for musicians, artists in general, which is how do you use technology to your benefit, making sure you're still projecting the essence of your music without compromising on the elements of it, but still in a way that technology you're using technology to your benefit.
Excellent. Yeah, technology does make it for ubiquitous music experience, but like you said, 30-second is more like fast food,
Yes,
and we would like to get the full feast of a
absolutely.
Carnatic music concert.
Yes, we
Yeah,
want the whole thali.
yeah, Well, Tali, rightly said. Smita, how do you think Saifa has helped promote and preserve South Indian music traditions?
So Saifa has done a wonderful, yeoman service in sort of keeping the fire, the interest for South Indian music alive. I'm so happy to see sort of the number of artists that are being featured as part of Saifa from different parts of India. But now, importantly, we are also giving a platform to whether it's the young adults in our
Mm.
community, whether it's younger children, whether it's artists such as myself. See, I always believe that, even the best of artists will stagnate if they don't have
Yeah.
a platform to
Mm-hmm.
perform. And, everybody will improve with these opportunities to perform before a knowledgeable audience. That's why we call, our Indian audiences rasikas,
Mm.
because they really come in with this knowledge of music, and it really forces the performing musician to come in and be very mindful to take your game up to a new level, which is not necessarily, yes, of course, we are all levels, one can argue that they're set by
Mhm.
an individual. However, having this sort of knowledgeable audience, having a platform such as Cypher, which has given a voice to so many of these wonderful artists coming in from India, and then having that same platform being made available to, as I said, youngsters. My passion is especially to see young people coming
Mm.
in, seeing a way ahead for them to continue pursuing this music in a serious manner. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful job that Cypher has done. Couldn't be more grateful to them.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I've seen seasoned artists from India perform at sci-fi concerts, and almost all of them have said the front two rows were the tiny tots putting talam for the concert.
Absolutely.
So they did make a note of that, and I'm glad to see you referring to that as well. So I
Definitely.
must give it to Cypher for that.
Absolutely.
Cypher is very grateful to the NC Arts Council for the Spark the Arts grant that makes this concert series possible. Smita, could you please give your Rasikas a snippet of what to expect in your upcoming concert on April 13th at the West Carey Middle School?
So on the 13th, I'm very excited to be performing and look forward to lots of Rasikas joining me along in this journey. What Rasikas can expect is a traditional concert presentation, but with some twists in the presentation, still staying core to the true traditional values of Carnatic music. Gapani dani dhani so so sa dhani 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 dhana pa ga pa da pa ga pa ga ga sa ga pa ga pa ga ga sa ga pa da dhani dhana pa ga pa da ni da dhani ni da dhani da pa ga 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 pa da ni so 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 sa ni sa ga sa ni sa ga sa ni sa ga sa ni sa ga sa da ni sa ni pa da ni da ga pa da ni da pa ga pa da pa ga pa ga ga sa ga pa pa da 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 ni so sa ga pa pa da 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 ni so sa ga pa pa da 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 ni sa.
Sabash! Thank you so much, Smita, for taking some time out of your busy day and spending it with us. See you all in West Carey Middle School on April 13th. Thank you.